7:01. Mary, can you take roll call, please?
Yes. Mary Barraza here, Nancy Mickle. Here. Denise Routson.
Here.
John Hunt.
Here.
Kelly Froge.
Here.
Taylor Arnold.
Here.
Amy Hurt.
Here.
Nobody is absent today.
Okay, has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes from last month, the 10th of March?
I know, it's horrible.
I did look at them make a motion to approve.
Correct.
Can we just change it? It says deposit to 92 from exercise passes. Can we change that to exercise and dance pass? Because it's not
Yeah,
exercise
yeah.
pass.
Yeah, because we've been kind of,
Lumping them all together, I would say.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes, we can
but for
do that.
future reference, I think we need to know that it was not just exercise pass.
Yeah, that's
Right,
clear.
absolutely, because the dance really did well. Do we have a second?
I'll say.
All in
With
favor?
the addition.
Aye.
Aye.
Also, with the addition of changing exercise classes. Exercise. and dance. Okay, got that.
Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of a swap around. Okay, so, we have a presentation from Attica Pickleball, is that correct? Okay. Go ahead and,
It's down there, Levi. But we need
watch your stuff.
Yeah.
You have to do it
I
up here,
remember this,
so that everyone out in
Oh,
the
cool.
wall
You guys have a
can see
We
it.
actually have to do a picture. It's me.
I can take, no, I don't have a phone. I can't take
I can
a
take
picture.
a
you
picture.
can just-
I can take one.
Get it to
Can
us.
take a picture.
Yeah.
Have I my phone with me? Or yes?
How about you guys come in the middle right
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
and then John scooch a little bit this way, just like that, and then Denise come in, and Nancy come in,
Nancy?
and then I'll, that's perfect, and then
You should
Kelly,
be
if
in
you
court.
can come right here.
Right now.
You, that is
And then
wonderful.
Courtney,
Over here.
yeah, you stand and Courtney, if you can sit here,
Okay.
and I think we got it. Can you see everybody in it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, a couple. Very good.
Thank you.
So on behalf of Attica Pickleball, we want to present you guys with our earnings from our tournament, our last tournament that we had. It was a smaller tournament than usual, so we usually do much better than this, but we had a small
That's
tournament because the
wonderful.
weather was kind of crappy, and then we had people turn out, or that didn't come, they. So
still.
we need to, we're learning, so.
One
you know,
day's work,
We're
that
gonna
amount
collect the
of money is
money,
amazing.
ahead of time, maybe next time.
And we welcome you to all of our tournaments
Very-
to
oh,
come
yes.
and either set up a booth for information or food or whatever you want to do to help raise funds.
Get us a list of dates. And
We have
we'll
it.
work
We'll get it.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Also, for your reference, your August pickleball date that you have Twilight that night, we are going to have, Agave Azul truck there
Okay.
for our side-by-side ride. And we're going to discuss that later, but you guys can enjoy that as well.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Tournament.
for the
Yeah.
Sure will.
Yeah.
Because we get a cut on that.
Thank you so
Nice.
much,
So-
yeah.
So
Okay, thank you.
Awesome
Thank you.
collaboration.
we look forward to being good neighbors.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you very much.
yeah, you're very welcome.
Thank you,
Very
Levi.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Nancy.
So if you want to pass
Thank
that
you,
down
guys.
to her, and
Good luck, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Levi.
Okay.
These two.
There you go.
Okay, so next up,
What are you, are you a
Just
board
in
member or what
case.
are you on the pickleball?
Treasure.
okay. All right, so next up is Caleb from HWC and Jeremy from KJG Construction,
Architecture.
Architecture.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, go
Just a
ahead.
quick introduction. Yeah. So you mentioned Jeremy Duff, KG Architecture. So Denise called maybe 3 weeks ago now,
Something like that.
and had said you guys were starting to, I guess, think about the potential for maybe community center, splash pad, pool, and she'd heard good things about KG Architecture. But she said, I want to tell you, we're reaching out to a couple other firms, HWC Engineering and Landmark Aquatics. I said, Well, that's good because we all do something different and generally work together on a project like this. So Williamsport may be a very nearby example. So our firm is typically, we say vertical, so buildings, not that we can't assist with some of the layout of a site, but then HWC, Caleb can go into more detail, they're essentially grading, topography, drainage, utilities, and then all the fun
Yeah.
amenities
So-
like splash pads.
Caleb Rothmer, I'm a landscape architect.
Okay.
So we have a landscape architecture department, we have planning, we have civil engineering, transportation, survey, environmental. So as far as everything outside of the building, we've got you covered. I've got several handouts here of, I didn't know how many people are gonna have, but
That's
this is kind of a handout of our landscape architecture projects, and this is aquatic projects.
Yeah. And then
And
I've got one similar one for the building side of it.
I have
Okay.
4 or
Sounds
5 of these so you guys can share, but this is just some examples we can go through as far as when we talk about indoor, outdoor facilities and pool visibility.
And then Landmark, we don't have someone from there with us today. But we can touch on that.
Yeah,
they're kind of a specialty equipment.
Landmark was here last month.
Okay.
So they're the aquatic engineer. They handle everything as far as the mechanics of the pool, the structure of the pool, make sure that we're meeting all health code requirements. They're up to date on new technologies for filtration, chemicals, if you want to do salt water. There's a lot of different things that go into going to a saltwater pool over a chlorinated pool. Essentially, salt water uses salt to pull the chlorination out of it, so it's kind of a cleaner, softer feeling chemical treatment for pool water. But it has some implications to, what type of metals you can use, because it does increase corrosion on certain types of metals. So construction costs in your pool is going to go up when you go to a saltwater pool. But they can elaborate on that more. But they handle that. We work with them to develop more of the aesthetic of the pool, shape of the pool, features that we want to incorporate, detailing, finishes, all that. We handle that and everything around the pool deck. More of the personal experience of visitor to the pool, access around the pool deck, and anything around the facility.
And then we want to touch on, because some of those slides are some work that HWC had previously done for Attica, but through the county, through the city.
Through the city
Through
in
the city,
2020.
Okay.
I saw
so
that.
You guys were aware of that.
We are aware of it, however, we've decided to go a different direction and
Sure.
want to change things up.
Yeah.
We have 4 acres up there. The closest to what we're kind of thinking is probably option 2A, however, that's not really what we're looking at. The building is no longer viable.
Okay.
We've had a state inspector come in and say, a lot of structural integrity issues from water damage. So,
Looking to demolish it then?
starting from scratch.
Yeah. All right.
So for anyone that wasn't or up to speed on that, that was more of a renovation feasibility study.
Mhm.
They looked at, trying to renovate the bathhouse, renovate the pool. Since then, it's been like 6 years since that
Yeah. Right.
study's been done, so I don't know what shape the pool's in at this point.
Oh, it's not in good shape.
Yeah, so.
It's all gonna
Yeah,
have to.
I'll have to
be
go.
done.
Although this feasibility study has been done, I don't know if any of it is valid anymore, what direction you want to go in.
The main pipe that goes from the pool building to the pool has collapsed. And we were told because of that, we have, I don't know if you have a copy of that, everybody else does. Because it has collapsed, we would have to dig up that cement anyway, so if we're gonna have to dig it up, we might as well just replace the entire thing because we have to go ADA compatible anyway, which the pool isn't anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just
Yeah.
better to start over.
Especially with the amount of scope and change in direction you want to go with the community center. I don't know that.
Right.
Are
And
you
the other
thinking of a
thing,
dramatic change in the location of the pool too?
we're gonna move it up higher
Okay, toward
towards
the hill.
the hill. But we want a slide that comes off the hill if we can figure out how to, the aquatics, what was it called, Landmark Aquatics
Mhm.
said that they didn't recommend a water slide up there because that would increase what we would have to do as far as pump. However, everyone I talked to in town wants a water slide. So I think that we need to try to see if we can't
So,
keep that in our,
yeah, so we
Deal.
kind of thought too that we might not be able to get this all done at once. Like this might be do part of it and kind of in stages. So correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I think our first point of action was a building. And then we're thinking maybe the splash pad and then the pool and then the slide. Correct?
we were discussing that, but when Kelly and I met with Play Pros and Aquatics, they said, no, if you're gonna do it all at once because they all interconnect to each other. And if you do it in parts, it's gonna look choppy and not smooth
Okay,
like
I
it's
see,
all together.
Yeah.
So that's what they said.
Yeah, the actual slide structure, as we've looked at, if you phase the actual structure out,
Mhm.
that might save you $300,000 to $400,000 for the structure itself. And you put all the plumbing, piping, equipment, and foundations in place. That would be the only way that I'd ever recommend in coming back and doing it later.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're tearing everything up. You're trying to
Right,
run
for
piping
sure.
and everything around, but again, that only saves you, a few $100,000 out of a.
Mhm.
Because you can't do the body slides that just empty into their own
Yep.
exit
Yeah.
rather than into the main body
The
of
thing
water.
the thing that we want to make sure though is that everything that is up here is ADA compatible because the slide over at Williamsport is not.
Mhm.
So we want to make sure our slide is, because we've got that amazing hill that goes up the right side. You have it on the left side here for the walkway to it, but I would like it on the right side so that, because that grade is perfect for ADA compatibility, is what I've been told.
So when would you guys suggest getting another draw up like this? Have we already talked about this or?
That's is that part of the feasibility
Yeah, that's
study?
part of the feasibility.
Okay,
study. So we'd
okay.
look at kind of your total scope, total budget, and try to, piece it together, so what works. And it may end up being, hey, we'll create something that captures your entire scope, put some preliminary dollars to it, and then say, we gotta make some hard decisions.
Well, we were also told because of the scope of our project, how big it is and how unique it'll be, that there's a certain grant that we can go after that if they like our numbers and our project because of being so unique, that they have in the past told people, go ahead and do it and we'll write the checks. So I am definitely going after that grant. So, because if we can get that and get it done sooner, why not?
Yeah.
If not, then we've got the backing of the why eventually, if we can get the feasibility to where they say, okay, yeah, we like this. One of the things that we're looking at is the community building is having a full gym in the basement. And on the other side, having like all the pump work and all that, and then having classrooms and places where we can hold dances and rentals, and we want a commercial kitchen in there so we can rent it out for people that do farmers markets and stuff and don't have commercial kitchens at home. And that can be combined with a concession stand area. So we're looking at a lot, but we also want to aim for the stars, and if we have to back down a little bit, we can.
Yeah, I
But-
definitely think it's gonna be one of those things where we can tell you guys everything we want and then we're gonna have to, like, you know what I mean, scale down eventually. Yeah, I mean, like she said, put everything out there, throw it all at you guys, sorry, and then
That's
whatever.
typically how I like to
You
design
didn't,
anyway.
he was
Yeah.
because I
pushing
hate,
for that.
Yeah.
designing in this box vacuum that sometimes our clients may not be aware of. Here's the other possibilities.
Yeah.
You don't want to design something and then come back 10 years later and be, oh man, I wish we would have
Would
had
add that,
or at
right.
least planned for it.
Here, a couple of things that we were looking at too is the pool building, the front part that faces most of Ravine Park. We want 2 large sized restrooms in there,
Okay.
facing the outside that could be accessed from the park, especially because it's right next to the pickleball.
Mhm.
And then another thing, I was up at the pickleball court
Couple weeks
a couple of weeks ago, and they have no shade. So I was thinking if there was some way to bring like an awning off that side so that they would have some shade on hot days, that would be
Yeah, I mean,
a way to help protect them.
I don't know that it would be any cost savings of having it attached to the building. And it would probably be more effective than just having a shade for the court itself.
Standalone.
But it's so close to where our building will be that
Yeah.
if we have this shape, I
Yeah, you
don't,
could definitely do that. Yeah.
because we want to make sure, we're good neighbors and help take care of them as well, because just let them present us a check. I mean,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know,
no, yeah, I'd say
we help each
In
other
lieu
out in
of
this
on the
town.
building providing actual shade at the court itself. Like both places.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So this,
Okay.
essentially, this conversation where we throw a million things that we want at you will be after we get this feasibility study or before?
They're doing, we
It's gonna be
can
part
get them
of
to
it.
do the feasibility
Yeah.
study.
So the
They
good-
can do it
good
once
news
we get
is-
the money.
Let's let you guys
Right.
present a
Yeah.
little bit.
You had mentioned, hey, you may want to bite off, right? Obviously, we don't have to come in and do all the drawings, and you
Uh-huh.
need some illustrations and everything for your grant anyway. So
Right,
the fact that you've, sounds like, decided you don't really want to explore bringing the building or the pool back to life saves a tremendous amount of effort and cost for us up front. So if that assumption's then we can kind of jump in, assuming, brand new site and
Yeah, we're
start
not having to
designing.
evaluate existing
Yeah.
conditions.
did I send you a copy of our survey?
I don't think I get the survey.
Okay, I'll get that sent to both of you.
But
Like a community survey or like a?
No,
site
we
survey?
got surveyed all 4 acres in Ravine
okay,
Park.
oh, sir, yeah.
We're hopefully closing on Thursday unless the attorney can't make it. So there's been health issues with the attorneys.
So we would propose KGG, HWC, Landmark collectively give you a proposal for this initial master planning schematic design that would get you that dream phase, some great illustrations that you could use for the community fundraising, planting the seed in for your grant. And then we would pause.
Okay.
And that would involve as many conversations as we needed to kind of back and forth.
I feel like we're throwing a lot of information at you that's not relevant just yet.
Yeah, well,
That's
some
what
point,
my-
once you said
it's
go,
like,
we would come back
We're
and say,
interrupting
okay.
your guys' presentation, I feel
No,
like.
you're fine.
I mean, I think we came into this knowing that it was gonna be more of a conversation. just trying to
Okay,
figure out
sorry,
what
I
you're
feel
looking
that.
for and-
But then we would go away for some period of time, then
So what
once
are we
the
looking
grant
at
is secured-
price-wise to get this package?
So we had talked internally, we were looking between the three of us at somewhere around 35,000 would be that initial.
Is that including the feasibility?
Yes, and
Okay.
well, and I
Well,
guess
that is-
terminology is a little bit, like typically we would look at feasibility study as something existing, maybe more so than new.
Yeah, this is more of a.
I'm using master planning is the same
Master planning.
term. You're-
Okay, so we need to talk to the Y and see if they will accept a master plan or if it has to be a feasibility
Well,
Well, we can cater the master
Yeah.
plan to meet whatever requirements they.
that they
Yeah.
want.
Yeah, it's probably synonymous terms.
Okay,
but-
so in that same realm, we can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except we have to remember that the Y is not, they were wanting to do more than just a pool here. So their feasibility study was also including like people's interests outside of aquatics.
Right.
So.
Well, that's where the community center comes into too, as far
Okay.
as, right, with
Yes.
the classes and different things that could be offered.
Yes, what I was quoting you would include site and building schematics.
Okay.
I mean, we would talk about the community center as well as.
And what could be offered and what
Yes,
could be done and,
absolutely, yeah.
okay.
And with that, we probably have, some alternates in our pricing, like looking at, hey, here's the big picture. Here's how we can
Bring it down.
bring it down. I mean, if we could look at working the fee to where, do you have 3 different kind of directions you're looking at? Here's all in, and then here's 2 lower options that you want to
Okay.
look at. Especially if we're not doing the kind of technical feasibility study where we're looking at existing conditions of the pool
Oh,
or
no.
equipment,
Yeah.
then, some of that fee can swap over to some other features to
Okay,
stand
yeah.
on that master plan.
And you guys would require us to find the demolisher, correct? Or,
Well,
Do you
so
know?
this first phase, the master planning feasibility study is really to get some preliminary pricing, the big idea, the big picture.
right, yep.
And then once we secure funding, finalize, okay, this is the direction, then we'd enter a design phase. That would be a separate contract. That's where we go into engineering and bid documents. But since you're a private entity, it's not owned by Attica, you could direct quote and bid it. You wouldn't have to go to a public bid process.
Okay. We have a quote from a company. I have reached out to several and only got one bid. So I'm like, okay, and it came in lower than what I had expected it to come in as.
I think that would be something
Wait,
to hold
I'm-
on to until after you've gone through the grant process and
Okay.
secured funding. And then you could do the demolition as a separate contract from the construction, potentially, or you could kind of encourage that person to give their quote to a larger GC who might be bidding the entire project.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
and just to be clear, the numbers we're going to give you up front during this preliminary are not bids. Like, we're not the
Right,
constructors.
Right.
So, but they would be our estimates from similar projects, just to guide and give you
Okay.
an idea of what that magnitude might be.
Okay.
Landmark has a design side and a construction side. So we've worked with them in both capacities.
Okay.
So on the front end, it's the technical drawings of this is how it should be built. The project then goes to bid, and then whatever GC picks that up, will usually hire Landmark as a sub to build the actual pool structure.
Now, we are members of Sourcewell. Will that help, or
Yeah.
will that be an
Yeah,
issue?
You can direct quote it. That'll give you a discount
Right.
on features like your water slide, your splash pad features. So like all that stuff you can get discounts on. But since again, you're not a public entity, you're not required to go to public bid, so you can go directly to Aquatics or Landmark or.
This was City of Attica, Fountain County, anything over 150,000 by state statute has to be publicly
Public bid.
advertised, competitively bid. You have
Right.
to accept the lowest bidder. But again, this gives you a lot of freedom you can still competitively bid it. Certainly encourage you to, but you could choose who those bidders are and not necessarily have to pick the $1 lower one.
Yeah, your advantage with Sourcewell is you get the discount. I think it's like 10 or 15% on
Yeah.
equipment.
I guess my more specific question too would just be, does any of these companies, when it gets to the planning phase, do the demolition, or do we need to be looking into that separate company for
So
that part of it?
Hopefully, if we could, so we offer like bidding services and construction administration. So we could help you guys source contractors and quotes, review those.
Okay.
You would want to have a GC, a general contractor, leading the overall project. And
Okay.
they would be responsible for taking care of everything within the contract documents, including demolition, construction of the pool,
Oh, okay.
securing the job site. So you
that
guys
would be
don't,
a
you guys don't want to deal with that. It's gonna be a-
We're doing a smaller project in administration office for a school right now. And for some reason, they wanted a local guy to do the demolition. So they didn't want that part of the public bid of the building. And inherently, it's created a gap that
Between
we're
the two.
negotiating through now, where the demolition guy didn't leave it like the GC was expecting it. So to Kate's point, you do not have to worry about that. You could, but just let the GC. Now, if you've got local contractors, whether they're demolition guys or electricians, you can recommend them, and then the GC will vet them, make sure they've got the safety requirements, the knowledge to really do a project of this scale. And then you don't have to be the bad guy.
GC's on your end too? Like
No, you guys would hire the GC. We put together the contract
And this
for
GC
you,
runs.
and then you guys would select which GC.
Do you guys have recommendations for that?
We can
Or,
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. But then we would be your eyes and ears during construction.
Yeah.
So we would have a contract with you, you'd have a contract with the contractor, therefore we can be checking on things and advising you on change orders and things like that to make sure that you don't feel like you're getting teamed up on by.
You want us to remain independent. You want your design team to not be, part of
With
your
the
construction
contractor.
team
Yeah.
necessarily.
So we think of you guys as our design team.
Yes, we work
And
for
then once you
you.
do the planning
They
phase,
work
we're
for you.
hiring a general contractor.
But we stay involved, attending,
Okay.
bi-weekly meetings, reviewing pay applications, just, to.
you guys are basically making sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing in a
Exactly.
sense?
Yeah,
Exactly.
making
Okay.
sure they're following.
that everything's
everything
up
within
to
the
code?
contract.
Yep.
They're not trying to have
Legal
you guys pay
dilemmas.
for things they haven't done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, right.
And
Because
it's not usually
we
an
don't know that.
adversarial relationship, but it's just
Yeah.
contractually, you've got somebody
Yeah.
looking out for your interests. 'Cause
And would that be would there be a fee during that planning phase, I assume, for you guys?
Yes, we would typically, after you get the grant, give you one fee for the final design and we call it construction administration.
Okay.
That would be one lump sum.
Okay.
That's
However
generally
long
gonna
it
be maybe 5 to 8% of the total
Through-
project cost.
you guys would be good, even if this took 4 years, what I mean? To finish. Like realistically, sometimes you run into issues I'm shooting out a 4 year being ridiculous, but you know, like that first upfront cost would cover until it is good.
Oh, yeah, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
If we had to, for instance, if we do the design and then something happens, you say, hey, we're going to take out the basement of the community center, if we have that significant of change, there could be additional services for us having to revise drawings if there's some significant site. But again, you're going to have estimates to know. We're going to know close enough what those numbers are that there shouldn't be a shock. And things have leveled off in the bidding world. I mean, post-COVID, there were some crazy things that we didn't anticipate what was happening. Things have calmed down a little bit, at least from what we're seeing. So
Yeah, your contractor's not going to want to be on the job that long.
Yeah,
Fair.
for sure. I just wanted to make sure that we kind of knew upfront if we were gonna have to pay, if it took longer than 6 months or,
So the other thing with usually we'll help put together the contract agreement form as well. So in there, there'll be liquidated damages. So we'll set a construction schedule as part of the quote. We're like, we expect this to be done by such and such a date. It's not, it's $1,000 a day that it's not done after that date. And that's on the contractor.
Yeah. Okay.
So they agree to that schedule. If it changes or shift, that is on them.
That's on them, not on us.
Yes.
Okay, that's basically roundabout what I was trying to ask, but you said it better.
Okay, the other question I have is because we want to do the basement with the full gym and then the mechanics and whatever else we need down there. I got a letter from the EPA stating that we would have to coordinate with them because of the RMC on the backside. There's no contamination there, but they're concerned that it might eventually, we might need a scrubber there. So if that's the case, is that something you can do, is coordinate with the EPA with the whole project?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. And
And
you talk phase one.
yeah, so we'll do environmental. I mean, if you want, as part of this feasibility phase, we can do more of a desktop review, look at a lot of the environmental issues so we can say, these are potential concerns.
okay.
And we can dive into as much detail as you think you need.
I have spoke extensively with the EPA, both district and federal, and they both said they were not concerned about Ravine Park at all, but they're concerned because if the city moves our pumps from down by the river up the hill, then that can cause the plume to go around the barriers, and if that goes around the barriers, it can obviously go into Ravine Park, because right now the barriers go straight down to the river from that area.
So we'll need to understand what they're trying to do and what you guys want to avoid better.
Right, because we don't want that to be an issue for us. I mean, if we build this magnificent facility, we don't want the plume to go around the barriers and then end up where we're at.
Yeah, and I think if you guys do this first and they say it's not gonna be an issue and then it is, obviously that's gonna be more of a liability on them than anything happen.
Okay.
But,
Still bad press.
yeah, we can make.
Yeah,
sure
it's real
that-
bad.
Yeah, we at least we can look into all the scenarios.
Okay.
Uh,
I just want to make sure that this is the most safe facility that there is, and that you come into a small town, you're like, wow, this is, I want that wow factor for this, because I want to pull people from other counties and other areas, and I think we can do that with the saltwater pool and this facility.
You're thinking the gymnasium is not the event center. Is that kind of your vision? There's
The
a gymnasium that's
gymnasium
for sports.
for
and then
sports.
there's a nicer venue for
Right.
dances, weddings.
Yeah.
Okay. Not trying to
To rent
multi-purpose.
out.
When you say gym in the basement, are you talking like a
Full-size gym. Full-size gym.
We
Yeah.
want it to be able to pay for itself.
25
Yeah, because we want the
25 feet
community
deep.
center to
Right.
pay for the pool stuff. So we want them to, because everyone's telling us, well, you're not gonna be able to make it, you're not gonna be able to make it, pool's only two months.
Yeah.
Well, if we get what we want, it'll be year round, and the community center will pay for the pool. So it'll be a win-win.
We could talk about this in the road. Is there an inherent reason you wouldn't want gym, event center, equipment, everything on one level?
To avoid stairs.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think with a 4-acre site, when you start talking about,
That's a better
building
idea.
that's
I would say
50,000
it's a better
square
idea,
feet.
especially if we have water and we're keeping that in a room above. That's asking for trouble eventually.
We can show both options. I just want to make
Yeah,
sure if that's
yeah,
already.
yeah, let's
decision,
get, yeah,
but-
let's see both options.
But, yeah, I mean, the gym in the basement, there's some inherent issues that come. So if you were cramped on an urban site, maybe you have no other choice. But I think you'll have room once we lay out.
That and enough parking for everybody?
Oh, sure.
Well, and you're digging a hole 25 feet deep,
Yeah.
you have to put that dirt somewhere, so that you have costs of.
That's how we got the hill back there.
Yeah.
Seriously, when the pool was built originally in '63,
Oh,
they
that's
pushed all that dirt up, and that's
Okay.
where we got that amazing hill back there.
It'll be about 10 times that size.
It's good to
Good
know.
big slide.
Yeah.
If we had room to come down.
Very
Well, yeah, we get,
Yeah.
that's good to know. And that's something we'll bring to the table. Just, certainly we're talking about ADA.
Right.
You know, everything on one level if you can.
That would
you know,
be, yeah.
Minimizes ramps and steps and elevators and lifts and a whole
And you
bunch
can
of.
also help control circulation, so if you have an event going on in the gym, but you still want to keep the community center open for other things, you don't have everybody trying to come through one
Mhm.
entry point. You can
I like that
find
idea.
others.
Yeah.
We can keep access.
So when we go forward with the feasibility study, the master plan, how quickly do we have to have the funds to do this before the feasibility study would be outdated? You know, you said this was 6 years ago, we wouldn't want to use that. So how quick do we have to raise the money to
I
make
would
this
say a
reliable?
couple of years, honestly.
Yeah, I think your
It's a-
duration is longer because we're not talking about something existing that's gonna deteriorate.
Okay,
It's just a plan on.
Yeah, the only thing that's gonna change is gonna be just inflation.
the,
Yeah.
the cost.
The cost,
Year to
right.
year, 3 to 5%, depending on how things are going.
Mhm. Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's good to know that it won't be outdated as quickly
Yeah.
since
Correct.
it's not an existing structure.
But if we can get that grant that Play Pros and Aquatics was talking about, then we can do it much sooner.
Mhm.
So keep your fingers crossed on that.
Yeah. I guess my last question though is that, because I know as a group, we're gonna talk about, we've had two different, ideas of these feasibility studies. You guys are wanting this master plan feasibility, the YMCA to provide services in our town, especially if they do any type of operational stuff, wants a feasibility study. So the thought is, could we combine the two? My concern with that is that the Y wants to know what services in this community are going to thrive the most. It sounds like you guys want to know what architectural structures are going to thrive the most. Am I correct in that? Or are you ever going to do
So-
any study in the town that would show
Sure.
these are the services people would come to this building for?
So we do, our planning department and LA department, we do a ton of community outreach, community engagement.
Okay,
And we do park master plans, comprehensive plans, so we do, and even for concept plans, we will do community outreach with either like an open house,
okay,
where we can have preferences, get feedback on programming, features, all those things. Normally, we don't include that in a feasibility study, mostly because clients don't
don't
think it's
care.
necessary, or
Okay.
they already have the information that they want to move forward with. But it's
Yeah.
definitely something that we can do in-house.
Same for the
Yeah,
building.
the-
If that's something the
Y definitely
YMCA
wants
is
it.
not geared up to do with their staff, and you guys, and sometimes having a third party do that gives you a little bit of anonymity that,
Yeah.
you guys don't have a set agenda. We're just the
Mhm.
people collecting the facts and reporting back.
We have a lot of different options for that. We've done it where we host and do it. And we can either do like a full-on meeting, or most people like to have an open house where they can come and go.
Mhm.
We also do like a open house kit where we can give communities, where we create everything and we give it to you, and you set it up at like a farmer's market, or
Okay.
you have your own event, and
Or multiple
You
events.
just-
if we
Or
wanted to do this
dancing in
more
the streets
long-term.
where it's
Yeah.
busy.
Right, but you've got
If we didn't want
material-
just
you've got
one
material
option
and-
for input, if we wanted to do that a little bit further.
But you've kind of got a construction kit to.
Yeah, to lead that, that'd be
do
great.
Make it look professional.
Is it possible for the Y to be able to contact a member of your guys' team to
Yeah,
make sure
absolutely,
that you would
absolutely.
have what they would want and we could all count it together? Great.
we can
Yeah.
engage them as, part of the review team through the process too.
Okay,
That's perfectly fine.
that'd be great.
Currently doing a YMCA in Gas City over by Marion. We did the Lafayette YMCA. We did the renovation of the YMCA in Logan Sport. So each one of those is different. I've been surprised at the disparity in how all three of those went. So we'd want to,
They're not interested in the building itself as far as helping us with the building. They're interested in the programming that we can
Yeah.
offer.
Yep.
So, and that's where they're wanting to know, what is it that,
They want to know what they can use the facility for.
Mhm. absolutely,
where's their closest facility?
Lafayette.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then,
Yeah, and we work with Paul.
yes,
so.
okay. Fair enough, yeah. Well, that gives us a little bit of a start of what
what they want.
Yeah, what they
and
might be
give you a
looking
list
for.
of things that they're looking for.
Not particularly, he just, well, Mary, you answer that. Did he give you a list of what?
Of what the YMCA is looking for? No, they've been very, they don't want to impose what they think this community needs. They want the community to dictate what we need. Because they said in the past, when they've just done brick and mortar, come in and say, I think they need this, this, and this. What Lafayette needs is absolutely not what Attica needs. And
Right.
so
Yeah.
they're very hesitant to tell us what services they want to provide until they have this study.
Are you looking to YMCA as an operator? Is that the?
We've talked about that. There's various
Possibly.
contracts. I think it's wise personally because I don't think a 8-person board volunteer service can operate full term. But other people have kind of thought, well, maybe we want to keep this in ourselves. So we're just tossing that idea around. There's 2 different contracts YMCA can do.
We looked at Frankfurt, yeah, they ended up shutting that down, but they were kind of trying to figure out how Lafayette
Yeah.
could help. And
Yeah.
from our vantage point, it seemed like what you're saying is true. Lafayette was willing to do as much or as little, and it kind of was up to the.
We have been
decide.
offering classes already with the use of the school. The school has been
Okay.
wonderful to us. We've had, Taylor has had classes, Nancy's had classes. Nancy's line dancing classes have been well attended by multiple generations even.
Nice.
And yours is well attended. And then we have Saturday morning classes as well.
Okay.
So that is our stepping stone to getting things started because all that money all goes right back into our accounts to go towards the pool.
You're doing those with local instructors?
Yes,
Okay. Just kind of, so the YMCA is helping with.
not with that yet.
Programming?
Nothing
No,
yet,
okay.
nothing
Okay.
yet.
Not
Not
even
until we get,
programming or-
they will not come in until we have the feasibility study done.
Gotcha, okay.
The kitchen idea is intriguing. You could set up a test kitchen sort of thing where you could have new entrepreneurs that don't want to put the overhead into setting up a new
Mhm.
restaurant. They could rent space.
And we had thought about doing like once we have the kitchen is having, I think Courtney said, once a week have a chef come in or someone that likes to cook and offer meals once a week out of the kitchen
Yeah.
for the community.
No, very cool. We're currently working in Logansport. They're right next to their brand new farmer's market. They have a demonstration kitchen where they're going to teach classes, and then an actual incubator kitchen that you can lease out for small businesses. So they decided they needed both. The Lafayette YMCA just has the instructional kitchen
Okay.
for classes, with mirrors and everything to
Neat.
do that.
That'd
So
be kind
very,
of cool.
very neat.
This is very helpful. Thank you.
And then obviously that could double. We could be strategic with that so that equipment could double as your preparation,
Yeah.
at least as a warming kitchen. if
I feel
not
like
a
the more
full-on kitchen
uses
for the
per
event
room we
space.
can have, the better.
Right.
Yeah.
The more, you know what I mean? We want it to
Multi-purpose.
definitely be multi-purpose, everything. if we can.
Yeah, everything, yeah.
And as far as scope and fee on the feasibility study, master plan, we can cater that to whatever budget you need it to be. So what we could do is we could put together a series, almost like a la carte of what we think you need and some other add-ons and see kind of, where you want to be.
Okay.
Okay.
And
If funds fall a little short, you still want to get started.
The one thing that
Something else.
I would like to see, and I brought up to the board before, is I'd like to see the big part of the pool be,
entry.
well, you're gonna have that on the short end, but on the big part of it, I'd like to see it be Olympic size so that we could actually have
Practice swim
swim meets, practices. One thing that I was told by a swimming coach is that they like to rent out saltwater pools because they're denser and they build the muscle faster and they do better when they get into a chlorine pool for meets. So I'm like, okay, that's a good thing to have.
You say Olympic size like area, or are you
Mhm.
looking for like dive pool or anything like that?
No dive pool because the liability on that's too high. They already looked into that.
You have to have additional lifeguards
Mhm.
and it adds a ton of cost to your pool.
Yeah.
Do you guys' initial surveys also ask community what they want or no? I'm just curious. Like, I think with Williamsport, they said, hey, they sent out a survey. What would you like to see in the pool?
Sure.
Do yours
That's-
do
that's
that?
kind of
Okay.
the community.
That's
gathering.
that.
That's
community
the whole
action.
package
Yeah,
that they give us to ask, right?
How do you go about doing that?
How do we know how to
Go about asking the community?
So we have a lot of different ways. There's survey monkeys we can send out where it's, posted on QR codes, or you send it out, post it on a
On our
website.
website.
And then we also, it's city town preference on whether or not you have a handout, because some people don't have access to.
For sure, that's what I was gonna
Internet.
say. We have a lot of, I feel like we have an elderly population
Have
that's pretty
those
big
in
here.
places, but most people have like a phone, so you get the QR codes or something that you can always scan and it'll pull it up. But we still offer the printouts. Problem we run into is getting those back.
Yeah.
And then, we manually input that data.
Okay.
And then, we also offer, we can do focus groups, like if there's swim team or people in the community that have special needs that, we want to see what their preferences are. We can have smaller focus groups and get their feedback as well.
That's great.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't think I have any
Any
other
other
questions. Thank you.
Great questions. I mean,
Yeah, answered a lot. And I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of what we've talked about, we've just gotta get further into it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I could ask you guys questions after questions, but it's gonna waste your time right now.
And that's hopefully you don't need $10 million to start planning this.
Right.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
There's, you can have.
I would just say, between us, Landmark, KJG, we've probably worked on some sort of pool feature in almost every county in the state.
Okay.
So,
It's definitely a go-to group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right.
Thank you,
Do
guys.
you have cards?
Yeah.
That we can get?
Some out.
I think if you just have one, you should be
Okay.
good, right?
And then you need one too.
Yeah, I do
For
too.
heritage.
Yeah, for another
One
project.
extra.
Make sure they're not written off. Sometimes I put.
Yeah, sometimes I have my bosses in there. For the bad clients. Right? Call this guy.
Yeah, I run another nonprofit along with Kelly in town, and we're gonna be using, or I'll be talking about some different
Anybody connected
It's
with
actually that
River
way.
City Church and the new
things. No,
daycare?
isn't it?
Yeah.
The,
Right, okay. That's John Thompson, and we worked with that River City. and
To get that
we did-
done?
Did some initial consulting there, so kind of excited to see, I heard that's up and running now.
Yeah. I think in May, or did they already start? Very
they
soon.
just opened, I
Oh,
think.
great.
Yeah, I think it's,
Okay, so are you going to send me an estimate as to what it will cost to do the feasibility
Yeah,
study
you wanna
slash
send
everything?
us, did you say you had information from YMCA?
No, we
No,
don't,
I think that we're gonna.
but it's through Paul
Okay.
at YMCA.
I can reach out,
Yeah.
make sure we include whatever he's gonna.
What he
Do
needs.
you like that idea, just having like a basic master plan feasibility study? A la carte items? For-
Let's get the main of where we would like to see, like
Just one, yeah.
the giant pit caboodle, if we
I
had
do
the,
too.
if we could build the Taj Mahal, the big thing, and then break it down to smaller options.
Well, yeah, we'll do that regardless. So our feasibility study will cover all your different kind of design options. It's more of,
And we
how
said,
many,
in the feasibility study, we'd like to see like different classes from like newborn swim classes to seniors. We'd like to implement like a senior sneaker type program. And then we'd like to get like as many different types of classes as we can. Just for options of what we can look at for programming.
Okay.
Anything health and
That's a lot,
safety.
I'll touch base with Paul, but for some reason, what they're asking for is just a huge amount of extra effort. We can kind of itemize that, just so you know,
Okay,
but hopefully it kind of intertwines with what we'd be doing anyway.
okay.
Yeah.
And if you could just give me an idea of what it'll run, then we can get that running, so.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Great.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening.
Thank
Always
you.
applaud. I mean, amazing. This is a big commitment for you guys as far as meetings, so very
Yeah.
exciting, and that's kind of refreshing when we visit small towns, and it's like
Well, we just got started 2 years
big,
ago.
big
so-
dreams, and
Can I give you a call?
Thank
it won't happen overnight.
Absolutely.
No, that's true.
Great.
Just keep moving forward.
Yes.
All
Thank
right.
you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming.
Okay, excellent.
Thank you for arranging that.
Oh, no problem.
You go fast because it's 11:45.
I know, we're gonna go quickly. Okay, so today we had the mayor and your dad, Jerry, had and I had a meeting with Brian Hudson of the National Fitness Campaign. And Taylor was right, it is expensive. They do offer grant funding between $30,000 and $60,000 per site. It's the size of a tennis court, like 76 by 38, if we did the full size. If we did the smaller 38 by 38 would be half, it would be obviously less. But the funding to build this thing is between $160,000 and $270,000. That's before the grant. So I think that this is a great option. I think that we need to wait on this option until we're done with our project up here.
Agreed.
I definitely.
So I think,
yes,
I honestly
yes,
love
yes.
this for
Two things.
outside recreation though.
Oh, yeah. But
And we
hang
were
on to it.
talking that
If we get a
possibly.
random grant that we feel like we can throw that way,
Exactly.
sure, you know, at
exactly.
least we have it in our back pocket. But I mean, I'm all for it, like I said from the get go, an outside way to work out for everyone. I think
Right.
that would be great down at Ravine.
But this company also wants to know that it's going to be visual where people will see it and that it will be used. It will get used where it's at. So we were actually talking either at Weebocce Park, like down where that last house is that the city's trying to get hold of. If they can get hold of that, take that down, then they can go there and it'll be across from the kids' playground. So parents can work on that while the kids are playing or whatever. And then, so hopefully that would, or they were talking about possibly up at McDonald Park because the tennis courts are in really bad condition. They thought about possibly putting it up there instead. But like I said, this is a lot of money to go forward. And I know that the city don't have it right now. They probably won't have it next year. I would
Is
like
there
to.
one somewhere that you can see? Did
Yeah.
they say anything about, is there one
Close
anywhere
by.
nearby?
I can find out. I can find out.
Because I would like to know what it actually looks like.
I like
Maybe
that.
someone,
I like-
Taylor, do you know what they're talking about? Okay.
I don't think McDonald Park, I don't know, I wouldn't move on it, I would
I don't
just,
think-
I think we just
Table it until after
Oh,
our
yeah.
project's done.
Definitely,
Yeah.
yeah. But I would be
But
interested
I would
in
like to
seeing what
look
it is.
into, yeah, I would like to look into, there is a video that I can send you.
Yeah, the video's pretty good. If you
It-
just
it
watch
shows
that,
it pretty
it'll show
good.
you. It
Yeah.
really, it's a lot about community, but I don't know that it would be, we wouldn't want to spend our money on there right now.
Mhm.
And not, yeah,
The
'cause
other-
that's a lot of money we could put towards the pool in the building.
definitely.
and-
This would
Definitely.
accommodate.
Definitely agree, yeah.
So, okay, so anyway, that's it, okay. So Johnny's house, someone put in our notes that Johnny's house was wanting us to get a
Oh
hold of
yeah, they reached out to me and said they're having an event on June
Mhm.
13th and invited us to come
him.
in any capacity that we would want.
Okay, I talked to Leah today, and she said that they're looking for raffle baskets. Now, the person that won the raffle basket that Courtney donated last year, at Heritage Day, donated it back to us. So we can actually use that as a raffle, and because it's a motorcycle thing in, and so they can wash their motorcycles with it.
Yeah.
Is everyone okay with that?
Yeah.
Can we add to it?
Huh?
Can we add?
Oh,
to
it's
it?
a big package. She
Okay.
goes a
That's
lot
a
there.
lot. But I mean, we could even add two, since we already technically have that one, if we want to add maybe even something. So I like when as a business, when I donate a raffle basket or anything like this, I like to kind of add something in there, not to sound selfish or anything, but to kind of promote what I'm doing. So
Mhm.
like
No, that
maybe
makes
dance
sense.
classes, or you know what I mean? Like a free pass to a
Mhm.
dance class, a free pass to whatever it may be,
Mhm.
along with like, I mean, heck, we could get a yoga mat. We could get like super cheap,
Mhm.
not cheap, you know what I mean, but like
Mhm.
cost effective things.
Things, whatever that. kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, that kind of tags along with what we're thinking. That way, when someone wins, it's more recreational based than,
Right,
you know
Right.
what I mean?
okay, sounds good. Okay, so everybody's okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
But I
All
like
right.
your idea of doing an exercise basket thing. If we could all bring
Having both.
something,
something to put in it,
like, you
okay?
know, one person could get leg weights, one
Yep,
person
yep.
could get hand weights, and
I mean,
you get
gosh.
a yoga mat. You
I
know,
could do a
somebody
yoga
would-
mat, got a brand new one, never
okay,
used.
if you want to do that. I mean, if everybody says what they want to bring and do a basket like that, everybody could.
Let me go to
Okay.
TJ Maxx and see what I can find.
Okay. Okay.
Really, I mean, they always have great
Okay.
stuff. Just
All
like
right,
in-
just to keep it moving, Hope Springs, contacted me as well. They're wanting to do a 5K run or walk coming up. They don't have the date set yet.
No, you're
They're
fine, you're
thinking
fine.
possibly Dance in the Streets weekend. So that would be June 20th, the weekend of June 26th. I told them that I would be okay with doing a cooling station for anyone because it's the end of June. It's going to be hot.
Yeah.
That way they can stop, get cooled down, get a cold drink, get a cold rag on their neck to cool them down, whatever they need. What does everyone think?
Are
You
you
think
wanting
that's
to
gonna-
give the rags out? Because that would be kind of gross. I can't lie. No offense. I don't know if I wouldn't want to put a used sweaty rag on me,
No.
but you could do,
Cooling towels.
or even just
Okay.
someone make a little PVC thing, put some holes in it and it kind of spray water
Well,
and they can go through it. You know?
I actually have, I've talked to both Attica Fire and Williamsport Fire, and they both have cooling misting fans.
Yeah.
So I was gonna see about getting those. They both said they have to get back with me because they're not real sure where they're at or if they even have them anymore.
Yeah.
But if not, then I'll figure it out. But we can do a cooling type thing.
Yeah.
I was actually looking them online today just in case, and they're not that expensive anymore. They've come down dramatically.
Yeah.
So I might get some for my own personal use and then just use it. But is that, and yeah, we would give away the towels. We're not going to.
Yeah. That
That's
sounds
just
good to me.
gross.
Is
Yeah.
the purpose of this to collapse? Because I don't think we'll get much, like people are running, so they're not gonna
Right.
see that it's Attica Rec.
Right.
So it's not, the purpose is
Well,
not
we
to.
will, we'll put our banner up so they'll know
Yeah.
that we're the ones that are providing the cooling station.
I think
but-
she's saying like they just won't pay attention.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
when
think
you're
it's gonna be a
running
major
5K,
advertisement.
Yeah.
Right.
So if we're
Yeah.
talking about like our man force,
Right,
it is another event. So if it's more just to collaborate with Hope Springs as a partnership, I think
yes.
if that's our goal, then that makes sense.
I
We just
think
have to
the
think
more
about
that
it.
we can support other groups, the more that more people are going to get involved.
Okay.
And say, oh, okay, that's what they're doing. That's what, because we're health and safety. That's our whole
Yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe
community
this would be a
outreach.
good one to try and get some high schoolers to help with.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems very hands off. We're not going to have to deal with money or anything like that. I just don't want our board to be ran ragged this summer either, especially you're pregnant. I have 50
I don't
kids.
mind doing it on that day, so I can do
Okay.
it. Like I said, I'm kind of used to that with the fire station. I used to do rehab for when they were on fires and stuff years ago.
Okay.
So this is something in my wheelhouse I can do.
So they're planning at the same time as,
They
Dancing
think
in
they're
the
not
streets?
sure as to the date for sure, but that's what they're aiming at right now.
that's Dance in the Streets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it used to be the Patriot Run, the 5K run. They used to do the Patriot Run, and they've gotten away from it since COVID, but they're wanting to get it back going because of the Patriot Run. So it'll probably be either that weekend or the weekend after, I'd imagine.
Okay.
With it being a Patriot Run. Okay, so that's done. Okay, Attica High School alumni. I talked to Carrie Breyer today or yesterday. I don't know. I lost my days. I talked to her this week. And she said that if we want to do another presentation to the alumni and give them updates as to what we're doing and the direction we're going and kind of update everybody that we can do that if we want. So do we have a volunteer for that? It is on June 13th.
Just, I don't know, my phone.
Mary, you and
I
Eli did that last
volunteered
time,
me-
correct?
Yes.
volunteered Mary
Yes.
to do it.
I don't mind doing it. I want to make sure we have updated info.
Right.
You
So-
said it would be when? I'm so sorry.
June 13th.
Mary, I could
Yes,
do
on
it
there.
with you if you want me
It's on
to, but
Okay.
yeah, for sure we would want to go in there with information.
Courtney, did you graduate from Attica?
I did. A year early, just so
Great.
we're aware.
Great, because we try to keep it with people that graduate from there. Okay, so shirt fundraiser. I've got, I didn't know who got it. I can't remember who got it and who didn't. Does everybody have you need one?
Well, I just need to, are they using, is it the shirts?
These are the,
New ones, they're different colors.
Yeah, they're different.
Yeah.
They're
okay, so these are
blue, I
the
think.
fundraiser. They're the blue that we're going with, because to remind people of the water, blue water. If anyone needs a order form, let me know, because I can't remember who I've given them to and who I have. Nancy, I don't think I gave you
Do
one.
you have one?
Yeah, I better get another one.
Yeah, I don't know if I do.
I'm always coming
I
home
know
with
I don't
stuff.
have one, but I
And
don't
I'm
know
like-
if I know of anyone. I can
Okay.
put it
Okay.
in the body
Just
shop
pass
to
it down.
see.
Yeah.
I already
That's
ordered
fine.
one for
That's fine.
myself, but
Okay, so that takes care of all the new business. Okay, old business, real quick. Mary, exercise class.
Yes. Okay, so we do need to discuss one, what we would like to donate to the school and then write a check for that. Do you want me to talk finances out loud or?
Not out loud, but Go ahead.
Okay, so if we,
Go ahead.
if we profited roughly $1,700 over the course of 6 months, if we did a 20% donation as like kind of a standard thing going forward, this year, that would be around a $350 donation to the school. I think we just have to talk percentage, because this will be kind of telling them what we feel comfortable with years to come. Now, they might come back with a rebuttal and say, no, we'd rather have next year a 30% donation or something like that. But I think we just have to decide as a board what we feel comfortable with. Does anybody have suggestions?
I personally like the 20%. I think that's fair.
I thought so.
Interest is good.
I don't know, what do you all think?
No, I agree, because I mean, yes, we're using their building, but we are manning everything.
Yeah.
And
Right.
doing
So
everything.
it's really just kind of to cover the utility costs, maybe the
Right.
wear and tear, although it's pretty minimal. So
Right.
I thought that was a pretty good offer, if you guys agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so do we have a motion to accept the 20%?
Motion to accept.
Okay, second. Okay, John. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'll make sure you guys know if they accept that. I think
Okay.
they will, but
You could turn them at Mary.
I don't have too many yesterday, so it's a success. It
Okay.
was very, very fun. Small, but
It was
fun.
very fun.
It was.
It was
a good
very
That's all
group.
that counts.
I wish I could have been there.
I have no clue about card games other than Uno, but on that post, I don't
Yeah,
know.
did anybody comment?
I don't think so,
Okay,
no,
not
but
yet.
I'm hoping, I'm gonna see if anyone's interested in like,
A
Other-
game night.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's like an Uno tournament, how fun would that be?
I
mean,
don't
kids
Now
could
you're
be
talking
included.
our,
Yes,
Yes.
see?
yeah.
Something like that. So I
Okay.
am gonna post about that and see if anyone would be interested in that, because I mean, I think, yeah, that's awesome. You guys raised like a decent amount of money for
I
that.
mean, it being
Yeah.
low
Yeah.
Yeah.
manpower.
Very many of us.
Yeah,
it was
pretty good.
And the winners donated their earnings back, which I thought was very nice.
Yeah.
So they
Okay,
made full profit.
Nancy, dance class. You have anything to say?
No,
Only
we're
dance-
done.
We're done?
We
Okay.
we did really good. I mean, I would start again next in January or whatever. Do
In
it
January?
again when we,
You wouldn't want to start in August?
really.
Sooner?
I'm really busy. Yeah, but I'm really busy come summertime.
Okay,
Spend a lot of time at the lake, so
okay.
I'm gonna say January.
So
Okay.
it'd be like a January through
January,
March-ish
February, March, yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay. we
I
can do
did
that.
wonder, we have talked about like, dying out the exercise classes maybe some point in the summer, but Taylor had a good idea of doing like maybe pop-up things. The only thing I thought of for line dancing was maybe the dancing in the streets has like a music. I wondered if there was like one song you could do like a class beforehand to come up with a dance to a song that would then be performed at Dancing in the Streets.
I told all my dancers to
Yeah.
come to Dancing in the Street.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, Diane Lexi has asked for did she get a hold of you about the, a list of songs that they can play at Dancing in the Streets? Okay,
No, she didn't, but
okay, so if you could send me a set of songs that you taught your classes to, then I can forward that to her, and then she's gonna have the band actually play those songs so that people can use what they've learned.
That's neat.
yeah, they're more
Hey,
likely not
bring your-
songs that they're gonna play.
Hey, bring your dancers to Heritage.
They did a lot of the like old fashioned songs
I know
last
these
year.
aren't old fashioned. These are new songs. We
Yeah.
I was thinking
Yeah.
Fireball.
We did Fireball and we
Okay.
did
Okay,
Hey, bring your dancers in September too. We can put you on.
Oh, yeah.
in September.
For the Heritage.
Heritage Fest.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, and then Twilight
So we can
Music.
advertise that.
Twilight Music, we're moving forward. We're still gonna do the walking tacos on the 30th. Mike cannot do it. He did tell me how he does his meat and everything, so I'm going to fix that and
So you're
see.
gonna talk to, go up to Gordon's? and see
No,
that?
that's for the side-by-side ride. That's for August.
So,
I
okay,
thought
what do,
Gordon's gave us the food for.
No, they
Twilight.
didn't. Oh, Gordon's, no, they're not gonna give it because Mike was fraternity brothers with him,
Oh, okay.
so.
so do we all need to provide something, and what do we need to provide?
So
Okay.
that's next month.
Yeah, that's coming
Yeah,
up quick.
I mean,
Yeah,
we do
you
have
got
one
that
more
tonight.
meeting. We could delegate people out at that meeting.
I could actually go up there and pick everything up if everyone's okay with it coming out of the account, and then we could just put that back in when we make the money. I
I mean, you're
mean,
not gonna make any money.
maybe we will.
I'd rather just donate it.
Okay.
If we could just
If
come
we
up with a
don't donate
list
it,
of what
yeah,
everyone
we're
can
gonna
get, because
make
I
money.
like to sales shop, and like I'll probably find it cheaper.
Everything at Gordon's, the cheapest you're gonna get.
I
for
know,
what
I
we
go to
need,
Gordon's.
so,
Yeah, you can
with the
get bread
exception
that's
of the
cheaper,
chips, and those are from Sam's, so.
Yeah.
Okay, and we do, if you do go to Gordon's, we do have an account set up there for Gordon's to get if it's something other than food that is taxed, we get the taxes off, so. Okay, so we'll get that figured out.
So do you want to plan to put that on the agenda for next meeting to delegate out what
Yes.
is needed for that?
Yes. Okay, fishing tournament, Courtney. I was talking to the DNR again, and they recommend doing it June 6th and 7th because it's 2 days that
free
that we
days?
get in the free days.
Yeah.
So they said do not do May because the water be too cloudy and you won't be able to do a whole lot with the
Yeah, we had May and we had June, and then there was one in later
September.
fall.
in
But
September.
I think with school and everything, yeah, I think June's gonna be our best also.
Okay.
So I'll keep working on
Okay.
that. Have they said anything that we need anything for that? I wouldn't
The
assume.
only thing that I've looked that we need is we need the scales and the hammocks that the fish go in to weigh them. And I've got someone that said they may be able to provide that, so we'll see.
Okay. Yeah, but we don't need any, we don't need insurance. We don't like that sort of thing for this
Oh.
because
Event or insurance?
I wouldn't imagine. I mean, they have fishing tournaments down there all the time that aren't insured. I mean, but since we're
No, I mean
board
for
putting it
our
on,
board. Our
yeah,
board will
I don't know.
require-
That's what I'm
I will
wondering.
talk to Jim about that. So, and on that note, we just paid the DNO. The general liability has gone up this year because we have a lot of things that we're doing. So it's up to 1122, which isn't up by a whole lot compared to what we were getting last year because we paid them all individually, where this year they're all lumped as one.
And who do we go through for that?
Jim shown.
Should we try and look for other people to see if we can get it cheaper? Or?
I don't think we're gonna get it cheaper because what he is he's a broker and he puts the bids out to all of the companies and then they come back with he goes with the cheapest one.
Okay.
So the cheapest with the best coverage. So I don't think we're gonna get that cheaper.
Did he do, I can't remember if this is the same thing. Is this including our event insurance?
This is our event insurance.
So did he do like a more general plan this year or did he do,
Yes.
okay, because we had talked one of the meetings that we don't want to just keep paying for one event at a time, but we
Right.
want to get an event insurance that lasts all year.
Right, and this will last all year.
So technically, are we good for the fishing tournament? We've already paid that.
I
so
will
that
I will
includes
have to
all-
ask him on that. That one
events.
might have to be added in because I didn't tell him anything. I don't think.
I mean, that's the whole point of that yearly.
Right. If you're
insurance
paying the
that
whole
we
year,
have.
it should cover anything.
But the way that the liability insurance works is that they have to have a list of everything that we're doing.
Mm.
So they can bid it out and say, okay, yeah, we'll cover all of these. We'll take the liability. But I can't remember if I mentioned, I think I mentioned the fishing tournament.
And we did pay that already, right?
We have not paid that. So that's what I need to get a motion to accept that 1122 and so I can get that paid because he's been after me. Okay, Legacy Breed.
Okay, so we need to make that motion.
Yes.
I make a motion to pay the 1122 general liability insurance. That is very expensive.
Or can we get a second quote? I just feel like we
We
should.
use Susie Breyer.
I feel like we
What-
should get a second quote. I mean,
Where's she at now?
But she's at Hoosier Associates.
Yeah, who's your-
It's the same exact company.
Okay.
It's not gonna be,
I don't know. I say it might be worth it to just at least get our eyes out there and throw it out and see.
I don't know, that's where we have our suits.
Do you know who Fountain Insurance goes through? Are they the same thing?
he sends out to all of them.
Right.
So
I get that. I get what you're saying.
he's a broker that
Looks
he
for the
did-
cheapest option.
looks for the
Where's
cheapest
he making
options.
his money in this though?
He makes $75.
Okay. So if we went through someone though, could we cut out the middleman costs is my question. Like
That's
even if we just
$75.
threw it at this person that they use, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, we could at least cut that cost
I don't know
out.
that we would have access to the companies that he has access to because some of them are really like our DNO insurance. It was a pain in the hind end trying to pay that because they are very picky as to who can get on their site and who can't. And so it took a while to get that figured out. So the companies that he uses, I believe, are very
Is it okay if I explore it?
Yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
just talk to Keegan about it and see what he has to say.
But make sure, I'll send you a list of everything and then you can check. But yeah, I think that 1,100, I think you're gonna find out that's pretty
That
reasonable.
price is for a year
A year,
and all events.
all events.
Well, that are quoted so far.
The only one that's not quoted is the, I think I did get,
So like
You
exercise.
said the fishing tournament, you didn't know.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find it.
yeah, I know. I mean, insurance is high. You,
Ours didn't go up much.
well, when you look at
Last
that,
year.
1,100, a little over 1,100 a year, you
I
look,
don't think
and then
ours
you
did last
compare-
year, but I have
then
a
you
bunch.
compare what we have to pay for Heritage Days for just a 3-day event. It's about triple that.
Yeah, but look how many people are at our event,
Yeah, I
you
know. So I'm saying, so it's.
I don't know. I just
So
don't
that
see
don't
the
get
issue in
locked.
looking into others.
Oh,
I
no,
mean,
no.
give us a week. I mean, I could
That's,
throw
that's
it.
fine. We can look at it.
If you email everything to me also, I'll reach out to the person that I know I know 2 people that do insurance because they might be able to get it cheaper too.
But is it commercial insurance or is it like,
Both.
okay.
It's just worth looking into. at
Yes,
least.
we, absolutely.
Especially when
If
we're
we
not
can
rich
get-
over here, guys.
No, we're not. No, we're
You're
not.
supposed to do that,
Yeah.
even with your vehicles and stuff, you're supposed to every 2 years.
Mhm.
Is our insurance about to run out?
When does
Like,
it run out?
how long?
Um,
'Cause I don't wanna go without.
April.
insurance.
Agreed.
it ends in April. It ends sometime this
It's
month.
April right
So
now.
if you
Okay.
guys are
Yeah.
gonna be the 2 that explore,
I'll
Mhm.
do it right away.
can you
Yeah, I
give
can
us
do
an
it
update?
Yeah, because
tomorrow.
we can always vote on it, you know. by-
So I just wrote in the notes,
Yeah.
motion table to pay 11/22.
Yeah, they won't. Yeah, will you figure out
Wow.
exactly what date? Because, I mean, we're gonna reach out tomorrow, but that doesn't mean they're gonna turn out, as you know, like, you can reach out, but they don't give you
Right.
that number right away.
Right, right. Oh, absolutely. I know that.
Right.
Okay. The last thing is that the legacy grant is done and we will need someone to do the presentation. And I'm kind of thinking since Mary is our presenter.
She's really good at
Our
that.
public
She's,
speaker.
she's our
Yeah.
she's our face and our.
He was so funny, the red face and all during the presentation.
Look at that, you're already.
Sweaty pits, everything, sure, I'll do it.
Would you be okay with that? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So
so we have been accepted to present, or do we?
not yet. They have a meeting in this month. Let me look at the calendar.
Okay, so update me. Legacy grant.
That's through the community foundation.
Okay.
Yeah, this is for the feasibility grant.
Okay.
That was the big one we just,
Yeah, we just got
Okay.
presented. Let me,
so.
they have a meeting. I think it's third Wednesday.
Sorry.
Shut your phone. Actually, they have a meeting tomorrow night in here.
Because it ain't.
So I'm sure they'll be on their radar because their presentations are in May
Yes.
if you get accepted. So hopefully, I plan on coming because if it's gonna be in this room, I'm going to be here. I'm gonna be at the meeting, so.
Okay. Sorry, going back, just because, going back to the fish fundraiser, so that is 6 weeks away, believe it or not.
Yeah, June
And-
6th and 7th.
So,
We need to get advertising on it.
I know, I was just gonna say, like, if
For
our
sure.
meeting, we don't wanna wait till
Yeah.
next month to kind of next discuss this. What are our to-dos in the meantime? Do we have any to-dos?
So basically, Denise and I had talked a little bit about what's the prize going to be at the end. So Denise's thought is we base it strictly, correct me if I'm wrong, strictly around this invasive fish. But my thought is you're not going to catch these invasive fish from the side, from the shore. You get what I'm saying? From the bank. So we're going to have to widen our horizon in some aspect. Maybe we do something.
Maybe
Maybe we do something special for, like, maybe we do a couple different prizes.
Okay.
Because like I said, you're gonna be hard pressed to catch mostly anything off of the bank of the Wabash,
Yeah.
as I found out.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, maybe we do bank prize, maybe we do boat prize. I've been looking into different things, talking to a few people, talking to Gabe's dad a little bit about it because he does the fishing tournaments a lot down there. Yeah, basically setting the parameters is what we're gonna have to figure out, like what times are we thinking, and I can just send out a mass text. So if we're doing it 2 days, are we doing overnight? Like there's a lot of people like to fish tournaments overnight and
Overnight,
sleep
yeah.
on their boat. Yeah, it's a whole thing. So
It is a whole
Does
thing.
anybody besides you understand fishing in this group? Because I think we'll have to just defer to you.
I understand fishing, but I'm a creek and lake guy. This
Yeah.
river, I have not had much luck. I just go out there and have fun, so.
Okay.
My dad
Yeah.
tried to teach him and yeah. it
Yeah.
just-
So I think we would defer to your expertise on what you want.
yeah, and mine, I defer to Gabe and his father.
That's
So,
fine.
So could you get together sometime in the next week or so to go
oh
over
yeah, for
things
sure.
and
So
see what we
basically,
can
I've
do?
asked him everything that I need to ask him. It's just figuring out, like, I didn't know for sure what dates we were thinking.
Okay.
I didn't know if we were wanting to do it overnight or not. Like,
Okay.
so is someone going to stay down there overnight? Because
Mm.
how are we going to, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Someone could bring a fish there and we wouldn't have any clue. So, I mean,
Maybe
how
it's best for our first one not to do overnight.
how are we really going to monitor this is my question. Are we going to be kind of lax with it? You know what, like, I'm fine with being lax with it. It's our first time, you know, we're not competitive fishermen down
It's for
here.
fun and to raise money,
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I don't think we should be too strict on it, but at
No,
the
I
same time,
agree.
I think it would be fun to have an overnight fishing
Yeah, oh
tournament.
yeah, I think it'll be fun. I'm just saying I'm fine with it being lax.
That's fine. Yeah.
I'm not a professional fisherman. I've caught one catfish down there. So
That's fine.
on a pole that I didn't want to chase, that I made Gabe chase. so I mean, yeah, as long as you guys are okay with kind of whatever I throw at you, I
Yeah.
can send a text message with some ideas, and then
You
guys-
put on a pamphlet and
I'm assuming you'll all say yes because you don't
Oh,
really
no.
care. And then we'll go forward
This
with
is your
it.
baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Not a girl.
All right.
yeah, just as soon as you get the flyer made, we can all start posting it on our Facebook. It's kind of like the
Mhm.
euchre tournament.
Okay.
I can print some off and try to put them out to where I put the euchre tournament stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I think the sooner we get it, just because I felt like I started advertising that euchre tournament months in advance, and it's still kind of
Oh, I know. It's
Yeah,
hard
okay.
to know
It
what people are
is.
going to buy into.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll make something and then I'll get something posted. Speaking of making things, I'm working on making May because I didn't post April until halfway through. So I'm working on making May right now. So if we have dates that we need to add in there that haven't been texted,
So you're gonna
please.
do, you're gonna do something May 9th at that pickleball tournament?
Oh, the thing you passed out.
I mean, you're gonna do.
I'm sorry, I'm not
food like
being
you did
rude, but
before.
I
You
gotta
did
go.
That's fine, that's fine.
I'm sick.
Um,
You did that
Have a
food.
good night. What do we want to do though?
Well, I don't know, I'm just, I don't know. You guys did it before, you know if you made any money, if it's worth it or.
Well, yeah, but we, that was a lot of cooking. Yeah, we could pull something
When
together.
was this? May 9th?
Yeah,
I don't see this. Where are you guys seeing?
it's,
Like there.
right there.
Ah,
pickleball.
right there.
okay, okay.
you guys did, or they did a food at the last pickleball tournament.
Oh, that's when we
And
had
so-
handed them
Yeah,
out.
pulled it
Yeah.
together for,
Yeah.
yeah.
So she
Okay.
pulled it
Something
together
like
kind
I
of
say,
quickly,
we
but that's our
can-
next one.
That reminds me, when
Yes.
we have our next thing, Mary, please make some more of those,
That's Wednesday,
uh,
Thursday.
Rice
Rice
Krispie
Krispie
treats.
treats. They went like crazy, but just make them smaller. But yeah,
Yeah.
Oh.
people went crazy.
May 9th is also Jamboree. So
It's
I am,
football jamboree.
yeah, I
It
will
is.
not even be available at all. I'll be at Jamboree all day. So
Yeah.
I can't help out with this.
And that's gonna be an all-day tournament, because it's a double. It's morning and afternoon. There's a 9 o'clock and a 1 o'clock.
I'll try to help you Denise.
Okay, we'll figure something out. Maybe some sloppy joes or
You know,
something.
it's a 9 o'clock and a 1 o'clock, but if you want to do, like, come and set up at
Like
10
11.
and do 10 to 1 or something, I mean, you could probably do something like that, I don't know. Or
Okay,
11
so
to 2
so
or
what
something.
kind of food do you think?
We can't ask you to like pay for food though, so we gotta start thinking how we're gonna do that.
Yeah, we need to all chip in volunteer
Mm-hmm.
things and stuff, you know.
Okay.
So, because I know last time that was all on you, and I don't think it.
But should
It wasn't that expensive. It
I know, but
wasn't.
still.
That was probably the cheapest meal I could have done.
So we're thinking lunch then?
Mhm.
That's what you did before, and it really, I think it went over okay.
It went over really well.
Really well, okay.
Okay.
I mean, you could do even something like hot dogs or something like that probably too.
I could take my grill
If you
up
had
there
a
and we could do
small-
hamburgers and
Yeah,
hot
if you had a
dogs.
small grill.
Would it be worth it
You
to
could do hot
call
dogs or
in a
something.
food truck to not have to worry about making it?
No, because you only get
Yeah, make
10%.
anything on it.
Mm,
Okay, so that reminds me, side by side in August, we are going to still do that. I am working on the logistics of it. We won't have to get shirts this year because we've got shirts left over from last year that with no date, so yay.
No.
We have a lot of the stuff already from last year's side by side ride, so I just need to update like the poster and get things done. And when I talked to Jose today at Agave Azul. He was fantastic, and he said that he could set up at the park. Where's my notes on that?
Be sure you
Um,
tell them what you want because they don't,
He's
they
gonna
didn't
bring.
bring drinks at all when they
He's
did
gonna bring the
ours.
whole truck.
Yeah, okay.
He's gonna bring the whole truck.
The Bordeaux's
And so the whole menu is gonna be available,
great.
and we will make 10% off of it. And he's gonna be at the park from 11 to 4. He said, well, we can stay later. I'm like, no, you're not. I said, that's Twilight Music and that is pickleball's night. Nope, we're not gonna encroach. I said 11 to 4 is perfect. I said, you can set up the truck there by the big pavilion. I said, then our side-by-siders or if the pickleballers want to go over there, if the pickleballers want to go over there, we still make the 10%. So anyone, and we can advertise that like crazy because even people from the community can go get food at the truck and sit and eat and
Like it.
and so, and that might get more people to the pickleball court too.
I don't
To,
think we have a football tournament that day. I think ours is the 16th in August. I'm not sure.
I thought yours was the same day as our
No,
side by side.
Twilight is, but I don't think not this year. I don't think it is. I'll have to check and make sure. If I'm not, I'm pretty sure it's 16th. of
Oh
August.
shoot. Okay.
I'll
Okay.
look and make sure when I get home.
Okay. Well, shoot. I told him that you would be there, so I was kind of hoping
Yeah.
we could kill two birds with
Yeah.
one stone.
Well, I'll check and make sure.
Okay. So, does anybody else have anything that we haven't gone over that we need to?
I just added to the minutes. Congrats to Taylor again for obtaining the Purdue Vitality Grant.
Yes.
job.
Congratulations.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's
It's
awesome.
not necessarily a grant, but we will finish the program with a grant and, more like defined master.
Which is awesome. I think it gives us a lot of credibility to show people we have been formally educated on being the best nonprofit we can
Yeah.
be.
Yeah,
That's
there's
great.
2 courses that they'll take us through. I looked them up online and they're like, we're at like a $600 savings is what we're getting.
That's awesome.
So, are they going to come here to educate
They're
us, or
supposed
do we
to-
do it
that's what
They're
online?
gonna email the rec email by the
Okay.
end of the week and it'll have like, I think ideally they wanna try and meet with everyone at once.
Okay.
And so I don't know what that schedule is gonna look like, but we will all be able to go through the courses and get their expertise, knowledge, advice, and then we'll get connections with all the people that they have connections with. If you get on like the website, Purdue Vitality, you'll see like different people that they've worked with and some of the stuff that they've done in communities.
Now, IU did reach out to me, and I think that the program they reached out to me is very similar to what Purdue's is. So I haven't really went forward on that. That I'm kind of wondering if that would be an enhancement on top. But I don't know. I think we need to concentrate on Purdue first, and then if,
Yeah,
once we
because
get
only
through
2
it.
people in Indiana got it. Like they only work with 2 people at once, so we were
That's
chosen.
awesome.
So
That is
That's
awesome.
that's very
I
Yeah.
think it'll be good.
So what will that cover eventually?
It's
yeah,
not
how to
money
write.
based. It's all education based.
Yeah,
Okay,
how to
cool.
write grants.
Oh, neat.
Like
How
where
to
to
be
find
successful.
them, how to be successful, setting up your master plan, how to get buy-in from your community. Kind of like when you look at feasibility, like what do people want? What are
Oh,
they
neat.
gonna come to? What's engaging to them?
Yeah.
So,
and that could help us with our feasibility study. That helped take down that cost
Yeah.
some.
And that would be something they would want to start soon, or?
yeah, so by the end of this week, we'll have an email of them saying like, hey, this is what the program entails. This is when we are hoping to meet with you or give us dates and times. They just called me on Friday to like going into the weekend to let us know that we got it.
Oh, so
Awesome.
neat, yeah.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
That's awesome.
That is neat.
Okay. All right. Does anyone have any other business that we need to go over? We've
Who's
covered a
collecting these?
lot tonight. That's John's.
No, who collects money? Is that you?
Oh, that's me.
You So Taylor, you'll let us know when the classes are and stuff.
Yes, yeah. So it'll come to. I don't check that email regularly. Is that just you, the Attica Recreation, Denise?
Yeah, that's out of the right.
She'll send it. Did I do it wrong?
No, that's right.
Okay.
What's this?
No,
one?
email. Do you check the email only, or is it?
Oh no, I check Attica. I check our Gmail. I cannot get into the Attica.org one.
Well,
Yeah.
it'll go through the Gmail.
Yeah.
I can't lie. How long do we have this website with this woman?
Our website's permanent. We have help for a year.
What's the next
Okay.
Tuesday we meet at?
But she's
The
supposed to be updating, she's supposed to be
12th.
updating the, director's page where it has like all of our information.
That's today.
Yeah,
So, and then if you need help on top of that, please.
I haven't even had time to mess with it yet.
That's fine. But I already asked her to update the directors because we need to get that information out to everyone everyone in the La La Land. We do have a website. If you want to go to atticarecinc.org, our new website is atticarecinc.org. It is still in the process of being taken care of. But yeah, it's in the middle of being built, but it looks good. Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn
A motion to adjourn.
at 8:22?
I'll second it.
I couldn't swallow fast enough to say it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Kelly.
Kelly says aye.
Yeah, I can just put 5-0. Okey dokey.
Yeah, I'll get something figured out about the fishing tournament, guys, and just send it over. I know you guys don't really care about it.
No, it just, for
No,
me, it helped to have the accountability of the board. Like,
Yeah.
I gotta get something out.
nope, you were
now.
good. I
Otherwise,
was
it would have
just,
been.
well, it kind of
Yes,
hadn't
yes.
gotten
If you think
discussed
about
very
it
much.
tonight, would you